Check, check. Alright, apparently that is all good. There we go, stream is starting. Alright, what is up, my dudes? Today, I'm going to be working on a tribute cover for Justin Lowe, who is was the guitarist of After the Burial, one of my favorite bands of all time. If you don't know who After the Burial is, I highly suggest, first of all, that you go listen to them right now. Stop watching my stream and go listen to them instead, because they're amazing. They're the first band that I ever heard that used 8-string guitars, and that's pretty much the reason I started playing 8-string guitars. So if you like 8-string stuff, it's kind of like Meshuggah, but a little more accessible, a little more metalcore, a little more deathcore. Definitely go check out After the Burial. Their guitarist, Justin Lowe, passed away 3 years ago, unfortunately. Yeah, so he's one of my favorite guitarists ever. He also was very well known for having neon green guitars. Let me just pull up a picture and show you guys what he looked like, and then you'll understand where my obsession with neon green guitars came from. So if you can see that right there, that is Justin Lowe with a neon green Ibanez 8-string. So last year, I bought a standard Ibanez Prestige 8-string. This is the RG852. Justin Lowe used the RG2228, but this is basically the exact same thing, except it doesn't have the stupid locking bridge thing, which in my opinion is super unnecessary. I don't really like it, so I got this one instead. It was also cheaper. So I got this used for a really good deal. I think I got it for like $800 or $900 or something like that, and these are like $1,500 brand new, Canadian at least. So I bought this last year, and I immediately shipped it off to someone in the States who refinished it in neon green, and I basically tried to make it look similar to Justin Lowe's guitar. So it's not, I mean, it is more green in real life. In this camera it looks a little more faded, but it's definitely super bright neon green. My webcam is just a piece of shit. But yeah, so that's kind of where my obsession with neon green guitars began. Yeah, so, and this also has Seymour Duncan blackouts, which is also what Justin Lowe used. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that, I guess. So again, if you haven't listened to After the Burial, you definitely need to go check them out ASAP. Thank you guys for joining in, by the way. It's also my birthday today, I guess I should mention. So I just went out with a few friends to have some drinks and some pizza, and now I'm back for the night and back to the grind, back to working on music as usual. So thank you guys for tuning in. This will probably be like maybe half an hour long or something like that, because I know how to play this song pretty well. Because I've actually covered this song before a long time ago, but I deleted it because it sounded like shit, so I'm going to redo that. So I'm going to be covering the song called Your Troubles Will Cease and Fortune Will Smile Upon You. Yeah, so I've already got the bass and the drums mapped out, as I always do, so it sounds like this so far. it basically just repeats that for the rest of the song. Somebody asked if I'm going to get anyone for vocals. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to do it instrumentally this time around because I'm running a little bit late. I didn't plan this one quite as ahead of time as I should have because I want it to come out on Saturday, which will be the, I'm not sure the right way to word this, but I guess the anniversary of Justin Lowe's passing away. So I want to release it on that day, which is 2 days from now, so probably not going to have anyone on vocals. Thank you guys for the birthday wishes, by the way. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. As I posted a picture of my birthday cake on my channel as well, if you didn't see that, but as I said there, I guess I'll just say it on the stream as well. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching everything I do, or if you've only seen one of my videos, whatever you do, support me in any way. It really means a lot to me. This has probably been the best year ever for me on YouTube. My channel just keeps growing, and yeah, I just really can't thank you guys enough. I always have a good time doing my videos, even the ones that might not perform as well. They're always fun, and I like reading your guys' comments for the most part. There's some assholes that comment, which is fine. Not everyone's gonna like what I do, but for those of you that support me and like what I do, just let me tell you that it is much, much appreciated. So thank you. Owen says he is stealing it for a cover. By all means, feel free to use the instrumental for a cover when I'm done. Yeah, go for it. Jonathan Davis on it. That would be crazy. I sincerely doubt Jonathan Davis would know who the fuck I am, but that would be very cool. Maybe one day I'll get to know him somehow. But yeah, so I'm just gonna get started here. For the guitar tone, I'm using my Kemper with the Horizon Devices Precision Drive in front of it. Once again, I'm using my Ibanez RG852 with Seymour Duncan blackouts. That's about it. So I guess let's get started. So if you've never seen one of my live streams before where I record, I always do it this way where I record riff by riff. I just think it sounds better. Even though I did just play through basically the whole song in one take, it will always sound better if I make sure every section is perfect, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to double what I just did because the right guitar is doing the same thing. Pretty simple. I like to call this riff the electric slide, and if you don't have calluses on your fingers, this will probably give you calluses on your fingers, especially because it's on the 7th and 8th string, which are some thick boys that'll callus you right up. Also, if you guys have any comments or questions, please feel free to ask anything you want in the live chat while I'm doing this. I would love to answer some questions. I might as well, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself and it's a little awkward. So if you guys have anything to say, definitely let me know. A couple of people said something. Alias, Dicky, says, used to be not much of the fan of the color green, but now I want a green guitar. Dude, everybody knows that green guitars are the best guitars, so you should definitely get a green guitar. And Solus Wanus, sorry, I'm gonna butcher all of your names, by the way, says, have another highest score of Days Without Dying. Happy birthday. I know that's one way to look at it. Thank you, my friend. Sergio says, what a tight rhythm, man. So awesome. I love your Genty style. Dijon is not dead. I agree. Gent is not dead. Anyone who says Gent is dead is a fucking idiot. That's like saying any genre of music is dead. It's just not true, you know? People are so dumb. I hate that Gent is dead has become like a meme right now. It's very annoying, but most Gent jokes are annoying, so I guess that's appropriate. Let's see here. Prob's a dumb question, but am I stoked for the Rare Form Tour? I am stoked for the Rare Form Tour, but it's not coming to where I live. The closest place where the Rare Form Tour is coming is Seattle, so I'm going to have to see if I can make some arrangements to go down to Seattle to see it. I would really, really like to see it because Rare Form is still my favorite After the Burial album, so I really fucking hope I can go see it. And if I do go see it, I'll be going to the Seattle date. Hayden, how's it going, my friend? Did you hear the new tour announcement? Yeah, we just talked about that. Playing Rare Form to full, so fucking cool. Owen, Bleed cover when? Probably never, because that song is fucking impossible. Do I like the new Born of Osiris song? Not really. It's not really my thing. It's a little too edited for my taste, which is saying something because I usually am a fan of super edited guitars, but that's a little much for me. I'm going to play a little more and then I'll get back to some more questions here. This next part is literally open chugs, super gent, so it's going to be very easy. Now that I said it's going to be very easy, I'm going to fuck it up. Yeah, see, I fucked it up already. Let's try that again. Alright, super easy, chug, 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 0, 0, 0, all that good stuff. Let's do that again on the right guitar. Alright, super easy. The next part is just as easy, but I see a lot of comments, so let me read some more questions before we get to the next little chug part here. And snip. By the way, when I'm doing this, all I'm doing is snipping any excess noise just to make it super clean. I'll probably go back and do the same thing over here, but basically what I do is I just do that and that, cut it up, get rid of any noise that's not supposed to be there, like so. Yeah, that's what I like doing. That's the shit I do like. And now it'll sound a little more clean. Like so. I guess I might as well just do it all on here. By the way, if you're using Reaper like I am, it is the S key to split, S for split. If you know the hotkeys, it will make your life way faster, so I highly suggest learning them. And then I think there's actually something missing here. It goes like that or something. Yeah, there's like a little intro thing. Like that. And now, let's see what we got so far. So that's what we got so far, the first 45 seconds of the song. So I'm going to read some more comments, which I just said I was going to do, and then I totally forgot. Let me scroll up a little bit here. What is the orange thing at the end of your guitar? This little thing right here is called a groove gear fret wrap. If you ever play guitar, or if you ever see any guitarist that has like a sock or like a little, what are those things that girls wear, nylons or something like that? Basically, if you have a sock at the end here, or like a little piece of foam, All it does is it mutes like the extra part of the string up here, because this makes a little bit of noise. It's usually not that noticeable, but when you're recording, you know, you want it as clean as possible, so this basically just mutes the top of the strings. Just a fancy way of doing that. You can do the same thing if you have a sock, just wrap a sock around there if you want to do the ghetto way. That's basically what that does. Justin Cribb says, what are my top 3 After the Burial songs? That is a really fucking hard question to answer. But just going off the top of my head, number 1, Aspiration. Number 2, Neo Soul. Number 3, Berserker. Yeah. Let's go with those 3. Those are my top 3. Neo Soul, Aspiration, Berserker. Top 3 After the Burial songs. Your guitar is badass, says Isaac Laframboise. Thank you, my friend. This is Brutal Gent. Birdie asks, will you do a comparison of a 9-string tuned up and a 9-string tuned down? Maybe genting? Maybe. I mean, it's definitely a possibility for a future video. I don't really know what tunings I would use, though. Maybe, like, C-sharp standard, which is normal 9-string tuning, and then, like, drop A or something. I don't know. Maybe that's a good idea. I'll consider it for the future, Birdie. Thanks for the suggestion, my friend. Reaper is the superior DAW. I agree. Have I ever thought about buying or reviewing a Strandberg? I've heard great things about them, especially the 8-string department. I've always kind of wanted a Strandberg, but I don't know. I have so many fucking guitars that I don't know. I like them, and I think they're cool looking, but I just have never pulled the trigger on one. I would love to have one and try one out, but for some reason, something about them just like, I want one, but I don't want it enough to buy it, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't think it's a guitar that I would like to own personally, because, I don't know, for what I do, it seems like, just like, you know, like with the cool neck profile and everything, I don't know. It seems intriguing, but maybe if I tried one, it would be different, but I definitely would love to try one out, but I don't think I would buy one personally. However, the Ormsby Goliath, for some reason, I want that shit more than an Ormsby. Or, sorry, more than a Strandberg. Let's see here. How do I feel about Chelsea Grin's new album? Chelsea Grin's new album is fucking amazing. I love it. Absolutely love it. I am one of those weird guys that preferred the Evolve EP over their earlier stuff, so I'm coming from that perspective. So in my opinion, their new album is the best thing they've released since Evolve. I fucking love it. I think it's fantastic. Hostage, I listen to Hostage like 5 times a day, and it's such a good song. Even though it's super simple, it's just a breakdown, basically, but I love it. Isaac says, this is freaking awesome. Thank you, my friend. Telestro, what's the hardest part about writing music for you? Honestly, just coming up with ideas. Like, that's why I mostly do covers or compilations of riffs and shit like that. I have a really hard time coming up with my own riffs. So I actually only write like maybe 1 or 2 original songs a year usually, and most of the other time I'm just doing covers and shit. The hardest part is like just not hating what I write. Like, I think the song I wrote in the 1-hour challenge was actually better than a lot of songs that I spent like months writing, just because I forced myself to just write it and get it out there and just be done with it. Whereas when I write other songs, I just like overanalyze them so much to the point where I don't even like it anymore, and then when I release it, I'm kind of like, fuck, it's whatever, I don't know. I'm not that proud of it kind of thing, or like I grow to hate it or not like it, or be like, I wish I changed this. I don't know. That's the hardest part, just like self-deprecation, basically. My top 3 After the Burial songs is identical to yours. That's awesome. Those are great songs. Parker, what's up? Tyler Marmino, if I found a 10-string without a rosewood board, would I go for it? If I found a 10-string without a rosewood board and it was like under $1,000 Canadian, yes, I would buy it. That's how much I was prepared to spend on that Agile. After shipping and conversion from US to Canadian and everything, it was about $1,000. That's like the max I'd be willing to spend on a 10-string. I don't even think I would fucking keep it, so it's a lot of money to drop on basically a meme. So I don't know if I'll do it again, because even doing it that one time and it ended up not happening, but spending that much money on a guitar that I knew was going to be pretty much a meme was like, I don't know. It was a tough moral decision, but oh well, I got my money back anyways. I'll do one more question and then get back to playing and then answer some more again. Alias Dicky again says, having too many guitars is a good problem to have. Yes, I agree. I don't know if my fiance would agree because we're running out of space in our small ass apartment. But you can see 2 of the guitars back there. Those are my 2 Eclipses. But what you can't see is over here is a guitar boat with 6 more guitars. So that means right now I have 9 guitars, which is a little ridiculous. But I always want more, so oh well. Anyways, let's continue on here. I'm just going to tune up really quick to make sure I'm not hitting any flat notes or whatever. Or sharp notes, I guess, apparently. My F string is doing some weird shit right now. Alright, there we go. So, let's do some more chugs. I went a little longer than I anticipated there. I just couldn't help myself. The groove was too infectious. I meant to only do the chug part, but fuck it. Alright, let's do that other part. Or, sorry, do the same thing again, I mean. Fuck. Forgot where I was at. Let's try that again. So that's a good chunk of the song done now. The song basically just repeats itself a bunch of times after this point. Let's just clean this up a bit. Clean that up. And let's cut it there because that's where it starts to repeat. So, now we got this so far. Let's play what I just recorded. Perfect. Alright, so that's pretty much half the song and then it repeats, so yeah, let's do some more questions. What is my most favorite guitar out of all of my collection? I think my favorite guitar, let me just show you guys. I think my favorite guitar in my collection is, it's a tough call. Fuck. It's a very, very tough decision because there's two that are very closely tied. So I'll show you both of them. I think this one probably wins by like a little bit. So this is my, you guys have seen this guitar before. This is the first fast guitar I ever had. My first full custom guitar, basically, other than my Kiesel, I guess. This guitar is probably my favorite. Like, if my apartment was on fire and I could only grab one guitar, pretty sure this would be it. Still love this thing so much, even though it's got a crack in the finish, unfortunately. My own fault, but, you know, that's what a guitar is for. Eventually it's gonna get damaged if you play it, right? So, the second favorite guitar that's like a really, really close second is obviously my fast 9-string, just because look at that fucking thing. It's beautiful. Look at that quilt, son. It just looks so good. Everything about it is perfect. The maple fretboard, my little inlay there, which you can see the AB right there. AB. The white bridge, which I've never seen on any other guitar. So the only reason this one doesn't win as my favorite guitar is because I just don't play that much 9-string stuff. I do technically like this a little more, but I just don't use it as much as my 8, so for that reason my 8 wins. Let me get this again. Let's see some more questions here. Where did I get my guitar repainted from? Unfortunately, I actually can't say because it was done by someone who does not wish to be named, because it was a favor and he does not want to do refinishing work for the general public. So I can't tell you. I'm very sorry about that. Play Hostage. I don't know how to play Hostage yet. I was considering doing a cover of Hostage with Johnny on vocals, so I might still do that. Would I be willing to do a What If Chelsea Grin tuned down? I mean, maybe, but they already tuned down to drop E with 8-string guitars, so I mean, I guess I could do it on a 9-string maybe, but probably not, but it's always a possibility. I should do a What If blank tuned up. Yeah, I've had people ask me to do tuned up videos as well. The only reason I haven't really done them is because that's kind of Pete Cottrell's thing. I mean, I guess if I asked Pete for his blessing and he didn't care, then maybe I would do a tuned up video, but, you know, I don't really want to take that from him. Although he hasn't done one in like almost a year, so maybe he doesn't care anymore. Maybe I'll ask him, I don't know. Let's see, would I ever consider getting a truly custom guitar? Well, all of my fast guitars are truly custom guitars. I would never buy an Ethereal. Sorry if you're a fan of Ethereal, but I've heard way too many bad things about that company to ever consider getting one, from that company in particular. But all of my fast guitars are full custom guitars. I picked all the specs on them, so yeah, definitely would get a custom. Do I like Lost in the Static? I do like it, but it's definitely not one of my favorite After the Burial songs. David Sassy, any thoughts on the conspiracy behind Justin Lowe's death? If not, I don't really want to get into that because, yeah, I don't really want to get into that. In my opinion, well, I mean, I guess I'll get into it. I don't think the conspiracy theory is a thing, personally. I think the story that came out and is widely accepted is true. I don't think there was any conspiracy behind his death, basically, is all I'm going to say. Jeremy Williams, love your stuff, keep chugging on. Thank you, Jeremy, I really appreciate that. What do I use for drums? I use a program called Mjolnir, which is Thor's Hammer by Solemn Tones, good friend of mine. I guess I might as well mention that he also sponsors my videos, so if you ever want to get 15% off and you like how my drums and bass guitar sound and you want the same shit, you can go to Solemn Tones' website and use the code, I think it's BANA15 or something like that, and you'll get 15% off. So I'm using that for drums. Love the 9-string, thank you. Love the headbang, thank you. What up, Ezzy Wizzy Bear? How's it going? Ty Criswell, how does the Schecters compare to the Ibanez and the Lowe tunings? I had 2 Schecter 9-strings and 1 Ibanez 9-string. Oh, wait. Well, I guess you're not necessarily talking about a 9-string, but I've never tried a Schecter 8-string, but I mean, pretty much they're like the same quality in my opinion. Like if you get like a Prestige Ibanez, it's going to be good. If you get anything lower than a Prestige Ibanez, I would rather get Schecter than Ibanez at that point. If you're getting Prestige, that's kind of the only Ibanez I would get at this point. Anything lower, I wouldn't really fuck with, in my opinion. I mean, I know they're pretty expensive, but in my opinion, the lower the cheaper Schecters are better than the cheaper Ibanez's, is I guess what I'm trying to say here. But once you get to the prestige $1,000-ish range, they're both pretty much the same. And you like the designs of Ethereal. That's fair enough. I used to like the designs of the Ethereals a lot, but then once I heard all the shit talk about them, it just totally like killed the vibe for me, and now I'm not into it at all. Anyways, let's record some more shit. So technically I could just copy and paste everything I just did because it repeats, but for the sake of a live stream, might as well just record it. I'm just going to tune up once more, make sure we're all good here. Alright, only need to tune the lower 3 strings, which is nice. So I did a bigger chunk this time because I don't really need to split it up because it's pretty fucking easy. So let's do that again. So that's another chunk done. So I guess I might as well mention there's another little trick that I use when I record. So if you notice the last riff I played, I actually played into the following riff, as in like, I'll show you what I did. Like, you know, I played like a little bit extra here, so I didn't just like hard stop it here. And the reason I do that is because then when I go to record the next riff, when I place it there, I actually just do something called, I think it's called slip editing. So basically I drag the previous riff onto the new recording. So it basically crossfades the two so it doesn't sound as unnatural. It doesn't sound like I stopped recording and started again, which is technically what I did. But, you know, this will make it sound a little more natural, just having that little fade into the next riff there. So that's that. Let's edit out some of these little pauses here. Once again, I'm just splitting it out so that I get rid of any excess noise that I do not want. And that should be it. So let's see how that sounds, and then I'll answer some more questions again. Cool, so that's getting pretty close to done here. Let's read a couple more questions here. What do I think of Spite and the new Chug Core? I'm not sure if Chug Core is a band or a genre or what that is, but I fucking love Spite, I can tell you that. I listen to them every single day, and I wear their shirt in a lot of my videos. Matthew Campbell says, have I tried writing a riff or song with an extra low G string on one of my 9 strings? No, I haven't, because I can barely get my 9 string to stay in drop A. When I do songs in drop A or double drop A on my 9 string, I have to pick so lightly because it just goes out of tune instantly, because the strings I have are not thick enough for that. So I can't imagine what I would have to do to get it to G, so no. Do I listen to Era? If so, what do I think of the style change and their new material? Yes, I love Era. I've listened to them for a long time, but JT who's the vocalist, is actually a pretty good friend of mine. I used to do a lot of covers with him like 3 or 4 years ago, and then he became the vocalist of Texas in July, and he kind of stopped doing the whole YouTube thing, and now he's the vocalist of Era, so I've kept in touch with him and met up with him a bunch of times. Super good dude. Love that guy. And yes, the new Era is fucking awesome, in my opinion. You agree with me about the conspiracy thing? Fair enough. Jeremy Williams, what was the first metal band that I ever listened to? The band that got me into metal was Linkin Park, System of a Down, Slipknot. I know those aren't technically like metal, but that's how I got into heavy music. So out of those three, probably Linkin Park. My tone is amazing, thank you, I really appreciate that. Sergeant Swole 96. Isaac Leframboise, your name is so fun to say even though I'm butchering it. If I like brutal death metal, then look up Extermination of Dismemberment. I'm not really into brutal death metal, to be honest with you, other than like Infinite Annihilator, but I guess that's like deathcore. What is the thickest string gauge I ever put on my fast 9 string? I've never changed the strings on my fast 9 yet because I have only used it for a couple videos. So the string gauge that's on it is a 90 for the low C sharp. The thickest string I've ever had on any of my 9 strings was, I think, a 105 or a 110. But at that point, like, it's basically a bass string, and it just doesn't sound good, in my opinion. Would I recommend the Line 6 Helix for tone and other pedal stuff, or one of the earlier models? Yeah, man, the Line 6 Helix is fucking amazing. I actually, in some ways, prefer it over the Kemper, which is insane. I never expected that to happen. I mostly just use it for live shows because it's way more convenient than bringing my Kemper around. But yeah, I would highly recommend the Helix, especially the Helix LT, which is what I have, because it's only like $1,200 or something like that. Well, only, it's pretty expensive, but you know, for what you're paying for, it's amazing. Steven, where did that go? Steven Howe. Check out AD Hara, heavy as fuck. Tarantula is great. I will have to check that out later. Enna Sind says Apate. I don't know what that means. Tarantula is a song. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm not gonna check out these bands on my live stream just because. But I'll try and keep those in mind for later. How long have I been playing? I've been playing for how long have I been? That's a good question. Since I was 13, so 13 years. That's crazy. I should be better at guitar for playing for 13 years. Do a Slipknot Tune Down? I already did, dude. That was one of the first Tune Down videos I did with Slipknot. You'll probably get it soon. Cool. Yeah, Helix, highly recommend. How much of my time do I think... Fuck. I'm going to read my question from your perspective because it's getting confusing. How much of your time do you think you spend writing your own music, or is that something you have to set aside time for because of work, YouTube, etc.? I don't really set aside time to write music per se. I just kind of let that part of my life or that part of my music happen naturally. I don't force myself to write music ever because, well, other than if it's for a video, I guess, like the 1 hour challenge or something like that, but I don't necessarily set aside with the goal in mind of like, okay, today I'm going to write an original song. Like, I never do that. It's just kind of like, usually what happens is I'll come home from work and I'll sit down and be like, okay, I want to do something musical today, which is usually every day I think this, that I'm not doing something else. And then I kind of just see what happens, whether it be an After the Burial cover or a tuned down video or an original song or a vlog or a live stream, whatever it is, I just let it be what it's going to be. I don't necessarily set out to write original music, if that makes any sense. And then favorite Linkin Park song, probably A Place for My Head, because that is one of the first songs I ever learned on guitar, and also that song is just awesome. Alright, let's keep going here. I'm probably going to end the stream in a few minutes, just so you guys know. So if you have any last-minute questions, definitely ask those. And we'll try to answer everything before I go. Supposed to be palm muted. I'll do that separately. Let's just double track this. So that next part is, I know the pattern, but it's hard to palm mute properly. So this will be interesting. This might sound like shit, and I might have to edit it a little bit, so apologies in advance for that. Let's see if I can get it. Up the end there. That's gonna probably be as close as I'm gonna get. Let's do a little magic here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, because those palm mutes are not the tightest, let's just cut that shit out. Ultra gate. Even though I have 2 noise gates on this already, should probably just get better at palm muting, but for now, this will do. And I know the original song is like super choppy, so it'll sound closer to this. Yeah, that's a little better. I know some of you guys don't like editing, and you'll probably hate this, but sorry. This is how I do things. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just cutting all the notes so that they're perfectly aligned to the grid, and all these mutes, I'm just deleting the noise from the strings so that they're actually completely muted. Alright. And if you ever listen to an album, by the way, and it sounds like this is what they're fucking doing, so don't hate on me. Every band does this. Or at least most of them. Sorry, this is probably not the most exciting thing in the world to watch. Let me answer some questions while I'm doing this here. Have I ever seen a multi-scale 9-string? Dude, I have a multi-scale 9-string. That's what my Fast 9 is. It's a 28 to 30-inch multi-scale 9-string. And I played 3 non-multi-scale 9-strings before that, and I definitely prefer the multi-scale 9-string. And also, if you're gonna get a 9-string, get one with 30-inch scale, because 28 was definitely not enough, which was what the Ibanez in the first Schecter I had was. The second Schecter I had was a 30, and it was way better. So I would highly recommend getting a 30-inch scale guitar, 30-inch 9-string scale guitar, if you're gonna get one at all, I should say, or a multi-scale, of course. Let's see. You're great at what you do, man. It's inspiring. Thank you, man. Thank you, Chase. I really appreciate that. Please go listen to Summoning the Leash, St. Louis metal. I'm not gonna do that on the live stream, but I'll tell you what I'll do. Since there's a bunch of people that suggested shit, let's just do this. I'm gonna open up Spotify. Let's make a new playlist here called live stream suggestions. Sure. I'm gonna put some stuff in here really quick. Summoning the lick. I don't know how to say that. This is their most popular song, so let's add that to that. So I'll listen to these like tomorrow or something. I know a couple other people suggested something. Let me just scroll up for a second here. Extermination. Extermination of dismemberment. Yeah, I guess it's this guy. Extermination, dismemberment. Okay, I assume this is the band you're talking about. So I'm basically just gonna add the most popular songs and check these out later. Add Hara. That one's not on Spotify, unfortunately. Let's see what else we got here. Cane Hill. I have heard Cane Hill before. I'm not really into it. Yeah, those are the only suggestions so far then. Doesn't After the Burial edit their stuff in the studio? It sounds super... Yeah, they definitely edit their stuff in the studio, which is the same thing I'm doing here. So, yeah, this is why I do stuff like this. All the bands I listen to do shit like this. And all the bands you listen to probably do too. And I'm not, like, doing a live cover, so I think this is fine. Fuck, I'll do that later. It's boring. How's it going, Carson Mac? Nice to see you here. Thanks for tuning in. When am I getting my 10 string? I'm not getting a 10 string anymore. For those of you who might have missed the announcement, I preeminently said I was getting a 10 string. I shouldn't have said that because it ended up not happening. Basically, there's something called a CITES restriction right now, which basically means there's an extinct or near extinct type of wood called rosewood, and rosewood was on that guitar. So the problem is it can't really travel between countries legally, technically. I mean, I've definitely had guitars come here anyways, and it hasn't been a problem, but it's kind of risky. You basically risk potentially losing the guitar or getting it seized, and I don't want that to happen because it's like $1,000, and I'm not about to throw $1,000 out. So that was the first issue. And the second issue was I tried to ship it to my P.O. box in the United States to kind of like avoid that issue, basically. But Rondo Music, who sells Agile guitars, basically emailed me and they said that they cannot ship the guitar to my P.O. box because my P.O. box has a different address than my billing address or some shit. I don't know. I don't really know why that's a problem because I've definitely ordered like a shit ton of stuff to my P.O. box, but for some reason, I don't know. Rondo Music was not willing to do that, so basically I just ended up canceling the order, so I'm not getting a 10 string anymore. I'm sorry. I wish I was. Alright, so now that this is super edited, let's take a listen here. I'm just gonna do this. Alright, super edited gent, here we go. Cool, so that's pretty much right. I'm actually going to extend these all a little bit because it's like too robotic sounding. So I'm just going to bring these out a little bit more, and that should sound a tiny bit more natural. Yeah, that sounds better. Cool. Alright, and now we move on to the breakdown, and then we're basically done the song, so. I could do better. song repeats the intro, which I will copy and paste. That is basically it. That groove is so much fun to play, man. That fucking... I don't know. It's so simple, but so much fun. Yeah, and then it just repeats the intro. So I'll copy and paste that in a little bit. That's pretty much it for this live stream, so I'm just going to answer these last couple questions here, and then I will be on my way. So, let's see. Damn it. Oh, so you went back and watched my other videos and saw the 9. Well, I'm glad you like it, man. I really appreciate that. It's definitely a fucking crazy-ass guitar. I like it a lot. I need to use it more. I just, like, never can think of 9-string stuff, but there it is on the screen for you to look at. It's a really shitty quality picture. Well, here's one of my thumbnails with it in it. There you go. 9-string. Yeah. Anyways. What was I doing? Oh yeah, answering questions. So yeah. Let's see what else we got here. When is my 10-string? I already answered that. Is there any specific 7 strings I'm fond of? I like all the 7-string guitars I have. But I've definitely been playing my Solar 7 guitar a lot lately. I really like that one. So if you're looking for something that's like around like $700, I would highly recommend Solar. And then obviously my custom 7-string is a fast guitar as well, which I really like. I also have a Kiesel Vader 7-string, which was my first ever like custom guitar, which I still like, but I just never use it anymore because I like those other 2 7-strings more, if I'm being quite honest with you. Do I live pretty close to the border? Yeah, I live about an hour away from my P.O. box, as Zachary said later. I'm not sure how Zachary knows that. I probably said that in another video. Unique Noob, how's it going? And yes, I'm using the Kemper in this live stream. Gabriel's Nightmare, have I heard Clocks by Ocean's 8 Alaska? If I have, what's your opinion on that? Yeah, I don't know if I've heard that specific song, but I've definitely listened to quite a bit of Ocean's 8 Alaska. They're pretty good. For some reason, something about them, I just like can't like fully get into it. But their live show is amazing. I saw them live once, and it was incredible. And their drummer is fucking crazy. Appreciate the headbanging fuel, my dude. I'm glad you appreciate that, Chase. And Y Cortez says, great job, love your videos, and After the Barrel, beautiful guitar. Thank you so much, my friend. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this video, or this live stream, guys. So I'm going to be releasing the video for this cover on July 21st, because that is, again, the anniversary of the day that Justin Lowe passed away, and every year I try and do a tribute video for him, and for After the Burial, so definitely be on the lookout for that. I also released a new video today, so if you guys haven't seen the video I released today, I would really appreciate that, or appreciate it, I should say, if you went and checked that out. I'll send you guys a link for it right now, if this will load. There we go. So it's a little bit different. It's like a pop cover. The link is in the chat box now, so I would really appreciate that if you guys went and clicked on that and checked it out. You're a video stalker. Sorry for the creep. It's totally fine. I'm not creeped out at all. Don't worry about it. Greeting from Australia. Have a good one. Thank you, Inferno, for tuning in and for being Australian, because Australia's fucking awesome, and I would love to go back there one day. But anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Oh yeah, by the way, I got a tattoo in case you didn't see that just before. Might as well show that off a little bit, I guess. Don't know if anyone really cares, but I'm gonna show it off anyways. because it was expensive. And I like how it looks. So it's like a trippy ass. My webcam fucking sucks, god damn it. There we go, that's a little better. So it's kind of like based on Alex Gray, Cameron Gray, who did the artwork for Tool and Born of Osiris. And also, if you've heard of a band called Lowe, their artist Loud Sonic does similar shit. So it was kind of based off of those three artists, basically, done by a tattoo artist from Vancouver, whose name is Trish B. So if you like this style, definitely go check her out. This already made me want more. This is my first ever tattoo, so I kind of went big for my first one, but I'm pretty happy with it. Anyways, just had to show it off because I'm, it's a new tat. I had to show it off. But anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. Once again, be sure to check out that new video I released today, and be on the lookout for the After the Burial tribute, which I'll be releasing this Saturday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great night.